สวัสดีค่ะ Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to THAIFEX-Anuga Asia 2022. We're back here again, and I'm so excited to see all of you in person. Can we please give us a big round of applause? ขอเสียงปรบมือด้วยนะคะสำหรับการกลับมาที่ยิ่งใหญ่อีกครั้งของ THAIFEX-Anuga Asia 2022 ค่ะเราไม่ได้เจอกันมา2 ปีแล้วนะคะเพราะว่าปีที่แล้วเนี่ยเราจัดทางออนไลน์เท่านั้นปีนี้กลับมาอีกครั้งหนึ่งนะคะหลังจากที่ไม่ได้เจอกัน2 ปีเต็มๆเลยดีใจมากๆที่ได้เจอทุกท่านนะคะแล้วก็ตอนนี้บรรยากาศครึกครื้นคึกคักมากๆเลยนะคะมีผู้ชมมากมายกำลังเดินบูธต่างๆค่ะเดี๋ยวจะขออนุญาตนะคะแนะนำตัวนิดนึงนะคะ My name is MC Nancy. I'm so glad to be your host for 4 days from Tuesday until Friday. And on Saturday, it'll be public day. I will not be here, but I'll be walking around. So welcome again to THAIFEX-Anuga Asia 2022. Into our 19th edition this year, we are bringing you a special hybrid edition, THAIFEX-Anuga Asia 2022. Keeping the unique concept of 11 trade shows under one roof, the show connects the F&B ecosystem within one mega show. And this is a very exciting event because not only that we're opening our stage, but we do have a lot of people at our presence. And of course, to our audience watching live, I would like to say hello to all of you. We're in Thailand, and I know that some of you are watching from overseas. So สวัสดีค่ะตอนนี้เราอยู่กันที่Impact Arena เมืองทองธานีนะคะมีทั้งผู้ชมชาวไทยแล้วก็ชาวต่างชาติกำลังดูไลฟ์ทาง Facebook อยู่ค่ะก็ขอต้อนรับทุกท่านค่ะ Jointly organized by the Department of International Trade Promotion DITP, the Thai Chamber of Commerce TCC, and Co-Messe from Germany. In the hybrid edition of trade show combining both offline and online elements this 24th to 28th of May. This year trade show combines on-site and virtual elements such as live streaming, virtual business matching, and virtual trade show platforms. This year's tagline is reimagining the future of food, and it is with this in mind the priority to focus on aspiring through trends and innovations, but more importantly, connecting you with the right business partners. As Thailand further eases its COVID-19 restrictions in June, businesses and exhibition venues are gradually reopening. Nevertheless, the organizers have arranged strict measures to safeguard health and well-being of all participants. We are in close contact with Thailand's Center for COVID-19 Situation Administration, or the CCSA, to address and implement safety guidelines on spacing, exhibition booth density, and various safety precautions such as compulsory face masks in the exhibition area, ATK self-test before entering the show, and the management of both local and overseas participants. So thank you everyone for your kind participation. So how many halls and product zones this year that we have? 11 trade shows and 4 special shows in 9 halls. Hall 1, food technology, food service, coffee and tea. Hall 2, drinks, sweets, confectionery and meat. Hall 3, frozen food, seafood, rice, fresh vegetables. Hall 5 to 8, fine food, delicatessen, gourmet, basic food and drinks, international pavilions, Thai importers and exporters. Hall 9 to 10, future food market, halal market, organic market, startup, and future food experience plus. Top 5 trend topics of the year, we have halal food, ready to eat, private labels, organic products, and sustainably produced or packaged. I hope I'm not going too fast because I see some of you guys are taking notes. จริงๆท่านสามารถมาจองที่นั่งได้เลยนะคะเพราะว่าบริเวณเวทีตรงนี้เดี๋ยวเราจะมีสปีกเกอร์นะคะขึ้นมาพูดบนเวทีค่ะก็จะเป็นท็อปิกต่างๆนะคะในแต่ละรอบนะคะเดี๋ยวอีก5 นาทีสปีกเกอร์เราจะขึ้นมาพูดนะคะ You are all welcome to have a seat in front of the stage. In 5 minutes you will be having a speaker talking about interesting topic. So please join me in front of the stage. We have still more seats available for Any of you who are still listening to me thank you ขอบคุณค่ะมีคนบอกมือให้ด้วยนะคะก็เชิญมานั่งได้เลยค่ะ Alright some of you are wondering how many trade exhibitors we have or how many audience that we have Well, we are excited to welcome more than 1,600 exhibitors from Thailand and all over the world, converging in Bangkok to showcase their F&B products and services to an estimated more than 40,000 trade visitors or more. This year event highlights also include THAIFEX Startup Zone, THAIFEX Taste Innovation Show, and THAIFEX Train Zone, and the brand new THAIFEX-Anuga Future Food Market, showcasing the innovative F&B products of the future. Seminars on F&B trends, innovative showcase by startup companies, very interesting, and dynamic presentations by exhibitors will take place at the Future Food Experience Plus stage in Hall 10. Meanwhile, catch out our exhibitors in action while they share about their products during our special spotlight on exhibitor sessions in the afternoons. These are all live streamed on our Facebook page. Go to THAIFEX-Anuga Asia. Go to Facebook and then type THAIFEX-Anuga Asia and you'll find us on there. We are focusing on helping you to build your business. Our on-site and online programs are targeted to assist business through industry knowledge sharing, business networking, and great exposure in the market. We are ready for you to be on board, be visible, be on demand, be relevant, and be the future of food. Be the reason you remain essential with THAIFEX-Anuga Asia. And we hold this event for 5 show days from 24th to 28th of May. The trade days would be 24th to 27th. And the last day, 28th, which is Saturday, would be public day. So Saturday would be open for public. And we start from like 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. on Saturday. But the first 4 days would finish on by 6 p.m. So just for you know, that's the timing and our schedules. All right, I do not want to waste your time. So let's move on to our next session, which will be by our first speaker of the stage, first speaker of the event. So this session is about Innova's top 10 trends for 2022. Any of you who's interested to listen to, you can catch a seat in front of our stage. Innova Market Insights is a food trend specialist for over 25 years, identifies top 10 food and beverage trends to accelerate innovation in 2022. The top trends are in response to the ever-evolving and consumer-centric food and beverage industry. Innova Market Insights anticipate leading trends and provides rich data to support brands with prompting revival or acceleration of post-COVID-19. Our first speaker, the beautiful lady just right in front of me, she is in Indonesia. You're living in Indonesia. And she represents Innova in the APAC region. In her role as Insights and Innovation Manager, she provides Innova customer with strategic insights, shares latest industry trends, and consults in development of new product innovations and market success. So who would be better to talk about this thing? Can I please give her a warm welcome? Our Insights and Innovation Manager of Innova Market Insights, Kun Irene Kersbergen.
Hi everyone, and thank you so much for the great introduction, Nancy. So I'm really excited to be here today because it has been so long since we could come together and actually, visit a trade show. I think everyone is also, maybe sometimes tired of doing everything online. And of course, it's good to have the hybrid event as hosted in these days. It's great to kick off THAIFEX with the top 10 trends in Asia Pacific. Because as you will go along these halls and see all of the stand holders and their new products and innovations that they display, you will see a lot of these trends coming back into all of the products and manufacturers here. So let's move on with the top 10 trends for 2022. Maybe first, before we dive into the trends, a quick introduction about Innova Market Insights so that you all know where these trends are coming from and how they are formed. So Innova is the world leader in food ideas and answers. We've been tracking new products and trends for the past 25, almost 30 years now. So our market experts that are across the globe, we cover 90 markets global, know the trends in and out. We cover new product innovations. We conduct a lot of consumer surveys, so we know what consumers like, what they're driving to purchasing certain goods. So at Innova, we're really the one-stop shop for all your market insights and data. And by combining all of that, we are able to present every year the top 10 trends for a particular year. So talking about our top 10 trends, I'll just move aside a little bit so everyone can see. Here's an overview of our 10 trends. And I must say beforehand, it's a bit different than our global trends. So these are for Asia Pacific. The trends are still the same, but the order is a bit different. Also here at our booth on the right side, you see our global trends wheel. But just to highlight some of the 10 trends before we deep dive into each of them individually. So the first trend in APAC is plant-based, the canvas of innovation. And I believe here at the trade show, we will see so many new innovations in this particular space. Of course, with plant-based, we think about meat substitutes, but it can be far more and beyond that, like dairy alternative drinks or plant-based ice creams, cookies, chocolates, snacks, products that are packed with vegetables. So you can really expect to find a lot of new innovations in this particular area. The second trend for Asia Pacific for this year is gut glory. Gut health, digestive health, pre-probiotics, postbiotics as something new as well. Trend number 3, back to the roots. This is really born from also the pandemic, where we had to go back to our community and back to our roots because we couldn't go anywhere. And a lot of manufacturers played into this area, using ingredients from particular local areas. But also freshness and functionality are important within this trend, and supporting your own community. Trend number 4, also very much related with pandemic, is amplified experiences. We all want to break out of the pandemic and be here and experience new things, but also in food and drink experiences. We're really looking for new things to try. Trend number 5, shared planet. This is actually the number 1 trend in our global trends wheel. But for Asia Pacific, it's on number 5. We are going to dive into this one a bit more deeper later in the presentation. Trend number 6, shifting occasions. How channels are changing, delivery is coming up, more online platforms that consumers can buy products. Then trend number 7, tag to table. Also here at the show, you will see a lot of new technologies that are really fueling new innovations and market opportunities. Trend number 8, upcycling redefined, using products that would normally go to waste or ingredients that would go to waste and using them for a new value proposition. Trend number 9, voice of the consumer. Consumers have so much to tell nowadays, and with social media, it's all open, and consumers can really tell what they want from a brand. And brands are really listening to what consumers want nowadays. And as a final trend, number 10, my food, my brand. Again, very consumer-centric. So consumers are really looking for brands that fit their lifestyle and their values in life. Okay, that was a brief introduction of the 10 trends that we will discuss. So without further ado, let's dive into each of them individually. There we go. Okay, trend number 1. Plant-based, the canvas for innovation. So plant-based, in the last 4 years, as you see on the top of the slide, we've been talking about plant-based in our top 10 trends. I think we all see this happening in the market. In supermarkets, there's more products available, plant-based burgers, plant-based sausages, but also dairy alternative drinks. And now it's really the canvas for new product launches. Also from the food service side, we see a lot of new plant and vegan options appearing. So if we ask consumers, what is important to you when buying plant-based goods? Or why are you buying these? We've asked that question in 2020 and 2021. And the first reason for people to buy plant-based is it is healthier. In 2020, the second reason was it brings variety to my diet. It's something new, something novel to try. It's better for the planet and it tastes better are also key reasonings. And the main shift we are seeing in this same question we asked a year later is that consumers are saying that it's better for the planet as a number 2 reason for buying plant-based. So again, like later we will look at sustainability as a more specified topic, but definitely this is one of the key reasons for people buying these options and doing something back for the world. And we definitely see that in new product innovations like this one from Vive, launched in Australia at the end of 2021. It's plant-based mince. That's really clear. You can use it in a taco, for example. And very clearly front of pack, you see carbon neutral. So also more plant-based options and innovations are claiming what they do back for the planet or how they are not harming the planet, or indeed something like being carbon neutral. So definitely watch out for this sustainability and planet-related claim in new innovations. Also, this product over here is quite an interesting one from Japan. It's actually a brand that's called Next, but it was focused on meat. So Next Meat, so plant-based meat offerings. And they've also expanded their product range and are now offering Next Milk. And again, they are very much focusing on the sustainability element. They are saying on their products packaging that they are committed to promote a sustainable ecosystem that treats the planet, animals, and us as people right. All right, if we look at Asia, I think we all can recognize these movements in the market. Definitely, plant-based started in the last, I think 2 years ago. It was coming up in food service. So you saw really the global fast food chains like McDonald's and Burger King launching a vegan or plant-based option. And also this started in Asia, in South Korea, and this example is from Indonesia. So those global fast food chains really started, and consumers also got introduced to these plant-based options in Asia. And this is now really expanding. So you see not only global chains, but more regional and local food service channels that are having a plant-based option on their menu. Same here, we see Domino's in Indonesia. They are collaborating with Green Rebel, a plant-based brand that is from Indonesia. They're doing really well, also collaborating with Starbucks locally. So it's quite interesting to see that those local innovators are collaborating with those bigger fast food chains to launch new items for consumers. And here you also see that they have, it's maybe difficult to read, but they're plant-based jerky. Also beef rendang they create. So that's, I think, a new interesting thing, which brings us to the second column, is that we see more variety and novelty in retail products as well. And if you think about it, plant-based it's something new. And for Asian consumers, maybe they won't go for that plant-based burger or cooking a hamburger at home because it's not really part of the traditional diet. So you see brands stepping into into an area that consumers know very well. Like this product here down below in Malaysia was launched, and this is a vegetarian rendang, beef rendang. So again, that's something that consumers know. But now it's a plant version that they can try. And then they're very much more eager to adapt that new innovation and get more introduced with plant-based. Also, this is a great innovation on meat. They have a whole line of all kinds of different tastes and options in the market, like corned beef style as well. And from an investment and research perspective, there's a lot going on. Last year, there was a $5 billion investment in alternative proteins globally. But Asia Pacific was the fastest growing region. Many global players in this area are also saying Asia is going to be the next big thing. So there's a lot of innovation and investment happening in our region. Something that really fascinates me as well is Good Meat. So they have their lab-grown chicken. You can buy in Singapore now. I haven't tried it yet, but I really want to try what it tastes like because it's really a chicken grown in a lab. So it's definitely one of a new type of research and option that we will have in the market coming soon. So maybe that's really the next thing. If we ask consumers, okay, what is now the reason for buying these alternatives? Well, we kind of covered that already. But as the second column, I always find a bit more interesting what keeps consumers from buying plant-based. So we know they think it's healthier, it's better for the planet, it brings variety to their diet. But why aren't people buying it? The first reason is they say it's a poor texture or taste. Here in Asia, taste is king. I mean, first of all, a product should taste well and should be, flavorful. And maybe a few years back when plant-based was still upcoming, maybe products didn't taste well or consumer had a bad experience with this plant-based product when they first tried it and they say, I don't want to try it again because of the taste and texture. So that's definitely one of the key areas where manufacturers are also focusing on. How can we create that texture that consumers like and that flavor that makes them buy plant-based options? Also that plant-based foods are too processed or have artificial ingredients. Long ingredient list is something they're saying. And as well, it's not yet affordable for the big public. So price and value for money is another key reason for not buying plant-based. Also quite interesting, I think, is Thai Union, for example. Really the world's seafood leader. And even these companies are tapping into the plant-based area. They've launched this line of Oh My God meat. Here we see plant-based crab meat. So also those big protein players are now launching new plant-based offerings. So you can see from food service, from retail, big brands, they have their meaty options and they also have plant-based options nowadays. And as I mentioned in the introduction, plant-based really goes beyond only meat substitutes. You can find now, and here's just a selection of some latest innovations that we captured in our new products database. You would have your dairy alternative drinks. Oat milk is really upcoming. We'll probably see that here around the show as well, that there's a lot of new innovations in oat milk. Also, I was here at the innovation area to see some of the winners. And if you look within dairy alternative drinks, soy milk was always the number one that people knew about. And it's really been a tradition, of course, in the Asian culture to drink soy milk. almond milk is very much taking over some of the share from soy, but also oat is a really fast-growing one. And more specific type of milks. I saw here a black sesame milk or black soy. So there's definitely a lot of variety coming up in this area. Also within dairy alternative cheeses. And here we see from India, eggless type of dish. Also Activia, Danone, big brands like this launching these plant-based options in South Korea. Or here in Malaysia, a new innovation that also says it's plant-based indulgence. Okay, trend number 2, gut glory. So 7 in 10 consumers in our survey, they say that gut health is key to achieve holistic well-being. Nowadays, we're looking really at a holistic and being healthy in all kinds of different aspects. So physically, but also mentally. Definitely during the pandemic, people discovered, oh wow, taking care of my stress level or sleep, and all of those more mental well-being platforms are growing as well. But gut glory, knowing your gut, and there's a lot of research showing how gut health is interconnected with other health-related issues. If we ask consumers a follow-up question and say, okay, to what extent do you think the following health aspects influence gut health? And we asked a whole list of all kinds of different health-related issues or challenges. And number 1 is immune health. That consumers say, okay, this is really influenced by gut health. But also your energy level, sleeping better, and your mood. So consumers are also thinking, okay, your gut is really one of the key areas that should be healthy to be overall healthy. Here is a new innovation from Vietnam. And they also say, the product is good for your gut. And they say it strengthens the immune system. So we see that more often as well. Communication by manufacturers and brands that indeed products are not only solving one issue, but are really interconnected with a lot of different areas. So here we see a bubble chart. And we combine 2 things. First of all, we see on the horizontal axis from our consumer study, we've asked, okay, how familiar are you with certain ingredients? And we asked again, like a whole list of ingredients. So we see that consumers are very familiar with fiber, for example. And on the vertical axis, we ask, okay, how effective do you think this ingredient is? So higher up the list, the more effective consumers believe this ingredient is for them. So again, fiber, really a familiar ingredient, and consumers also then know and are more educated about the effectiveness of fiber in their foods. But also other things like probiotics is more upcoming. So familiarity is growing, and of course from there people know more how effective this product or this ingredient is for them. We see also something new here, probiotics on the watch list, we put it. It's again something new that a lot of research is currently being done in this area. So I will be looking forward to seeing new products maybe tapping into this postbiotics trend. Trend number 3, back to the roots. So because of the pandemic, I think in the last 2 years we all staying at home more, but there was also issue that many people lost their jobs. I live in Indonesia in more of a rural, smaller town, and many people lost their jobs. It was really sad and have less money to spend. So you really go back to your roots, and I saw in the village that I lived that more people were, for example, baking their own cakes or creating their own snacks, packing them and selling them to neighbors or other people in the village. There's also ones that are a bit next level entrepreneurial, and they started, one girl, as a sourdough bakery. So I was really excited because I could get really nice European type of bread. And she sold that in sort of a form like a ghost kitchen, cloud kitchen. So all of these different platforms that were coming up, like Tokopedia or Shopee, and this really opened up opportunities for really local people, local entrepreneurs, to sell their goods to a bigger audience. So back to the roots is, focused on community feel, and also sharing that trust and being transparent about where products are coming from. Telling that story is really important. And of course, back to the roots, again related to roots, literally, botanical ingredients, use of florals, roots, etc. in products to have a functional element in new product innovation. Well, also again, if we ask consumers 2 years apart, so in 2020 and 2021, when buying food and drinks, what factor have become more important? In the last 12 years, we see again some shifts. First of all, well, flavor was already very important, but became more important. Freshness of food, and this is again very much part of this trend, as well as nutritional benefit. During the pandemic, we all wanted to stay healthy as a number one. And if we ask consumers down below here, you see that on the slide in the left bottom corner. To what extent do you believe you will buy more products locally? And many people said, I'm actually going to buy more local goods from my own community. And here there are some examples in the market that were launched quite recently. This new one from Vietnam was launched in April. And again, very much focused on that community feel, made with love, proudly handcrafted in the Mekong Delta. So saying where the ingredients or where the production is from. So having that transparency, creating trust, and also as a consumer, you really feel more connected with a brand because you kind of know where they're coming from. Same here, this coconut water from India, locally sourced from the farmers of a particular part of India. So within Back to the Roots, I already introduced, I think, these topics a little bit. But there's different strategies that we see manufacturers are taking to step into this trend. First of all, community consciousness. So as I already explained, products that are stating where ingredients are coming from, where it's produced, how it's doing something back to the people who are, or the farmers. And also in Japan, there's a shopping site, a website, where you can buy products directly from farmers. So again, a very short, direct line from farm to fork is something that we've been hearing in the last couple of years. But again, those online platforms make it possible to connect those two channels directly to one another. Also in the middle here, fresh comfort food. So this range is from South Korea. It's an ox knee soup. And it also really says it's cooked with fresh and authentic ingredients. Really a traditional recipe. And again, telling the story on the back of the pack, you see even a photo of the person where the recipe is probably from. And as a consumer, you feel again more connected to where the roots of this product lays. And as a third topic, as a strategy, is naturally functional. So can be botanical ingredients or other ingredients that bring functionality or benefit to a product. An example here is from Agri-Sea, New Zealand's functional beverage producer. And they are using seaweed in their beverages. And that has all kinds of benefits, and in a very natural and kind of fresh way. Trend number 4, amplified experiences. I find this such a fun trend because I think we can all very much relate to this. During the pandemic, we were all staying at home. We couldn't go to our favorite restaurants or, go out somewhere to get a nice piece of pie we were stuck at home. So we were all hungry for new food and beverage experiences. And this is definitely one of the key trends that we see in Asia as manufacturers are tapping into this. So a new experience into a crazy flavor or a new texture or surprising consumers in a certain way or with a certain element. Here is an example for that type of trend as well. As we couldn't travel, there's brands that are now launching flavors from around the world. So even though you couldn't travel, you can still have your Magnum from Las Vegas or like you would be in New York. So I was also in the supermarket yesterday here in Bangkok, and I saw that Pringles, they launched a new range of passport flavors. So they also tap into this trend by using flavors from specific places around the world or specific dishes. And here is some example of those more crazy flavors and textures that we see happening in the market. In South Korea, there's a new product launched. It looks like a coal briquette shaped. It's also black colored by using ink from squid. So natural type of flavoring. So definitely something exciting in form of a color, but also in form of a texture. And in Indonesia, there's this quite famous ice cream brand, and they use all kinds of crazy flavors. They even have a soy sauce ice cream. I don't know what that will taste like, but it's available in the market. It's definitely something new and new experience for consumers. So consumers in our survey, they also say that I would like to see more technology or more collaborations to create those indulgent flavors or something exciting. While this here on the left side is definitely something exciting from Cup Noodles. To celebrate their 50-year anniversary, they launched the favorite noodle flavors of consumers into a fizzy drink, so into a soda. Again, I don't know what it will taste like, but it's definitely something crazy, something exciting that consumers are looking for. What is quite crucial within this trend is that consumers, they are willing to trying something new, but if they don't know the brand and they don't know anything about the product, they are a bit more hesitant. So with a very well-known brand like Cup Noodles, consumers are more open to trying this fizzy drink. So within this space, we also see a lot of brand collaboration. So using an existing well-known brand and then combining it with another brand, or that brand launching a new innovation with like a wacky limited edition, and then it has more chance of succeeding in the market. Trend number 5, shared planet. So as I said in the introduction, this is the number 1 trend globally. In Asia Pacific, we put it on number 5. So what we are seeing is that consumers are getting more educated about the planet, about the harm we are doing to the planet, about what consumption is doing for the planet. And also consumers here, 44% say that I include environmental well-being in thinking about holistic health. So there we have again holistic health. So healthy for you, but also healthy for the planet. It's really becoming a bigger theme nowadays. We also see that again here in this question on the right-hand side. So we've asked which of these global issues concern you most, and again there was a whole list that consumers could or panelists could pick from. Health of the planet or health of the population, in orange in 2000 was 45% said, yeah, we care most about the health of the population. It was midst of the pandemic, of course. And 30% said health of the planet. And this is now changing. So health of the population is going down a little bit of key concerns for consumers. And health of the planet is growing. If we look at these numbers from a global perspective, so we include other markets as well, from Europe and North America, from Latin America, this actually shifted. So nowadays, health of the planet is the #1 global issue that consumers are saying. That's also why it's not #1 here in APAC, but we put it on #5, because it's not yet making that shift, but it's going there. And of course, because consumers are getting more familiar with this, with sustainability and environmental impact, many companies are also trying to play into this area, and they carry a big responsibility. So we have again here some examples in the market. This product here from Indonesia, they say 100% committed to the environment. Made from 100% recyclable plastic, their packaging 100% recyclable. And also brands, big brands like Pepsi, and I think in the beverage space you see a lot of innovation in packaging. They now launched this label-free Coke drink. So it will be easier to recycle. So definitely watch out for new innovations in this area. I also know that Coca-Cola that just announced that they have again a new type of plastic bottle that they will release, in which the cap you won't screw off and throw away separately, but it will actually stay on the bottle, which makes recycling easier. So I was already mentioning that consumers are getting more aware of the issues in the world. 40% of consumers in Indonesia, one of the countries here in Asia, say that they have taken personal action to improve their environmental well-being in the last year. Also, if you see, I live in Indonesia, I see it quite a bit. You definitely see a lot of plastic waste. And you also now hear more from brands, but also from local people, that they are getting more educated about all of these difficulties that we're facing. And here on the right-hand side, I think this is quite an interesting statistic. Because, we conduct a lot of consumer studies, and it's always a bit challenging to ask about sustainable aspects, because consumers often say like, oh yeah, I care for the planet, I'm willing to pay more money for products that do something back. But is it really true? Do people really care? And we are able to capture that in this product, in this statistic on the right side. So in the last 4 years, we've been asking, again, this same question. We love to compare years over years to see differences of consumer behavior. So we've asked, okay, what factor is most influence your purchase decision when buying food and beverages? So there was, again, a whole list of factors that they can choose from indulgence to a high source of protein to natural, like a really big list. And in 2018, from that big list, only 5.6% of Asian consumers said, environmental claims, which was, relatively low, of course. It's not one of those top influencers in purchase decision. But as we go over the years, and definitely last year, 12% of consumers in Asia from that whole list, they picked environmental claims. So they could only pick 3 factors and not too much. So it's definitely a key signal that consumers do care. There we go. So how I see sustainability in Asia is that there's different stakeholders. You have consumers. We've just seen like they care more for the environment. They're getting more educated. But that also is coming from the company's point of view, from businesses. So here you see that global brands, but also regional, local players, they all have their sustainability goals. By 2025, we want to reach this goal, or by 2050, we want to reach, this sustainability goal. And also because of that, consumers get, again, more educated about what's happening in the world. And here's just a few examples from Morinaga, also saying that they have their sustainable raw material procurement goal. Fonterra Climate Change Commission, Nestle having their 2030 as well as their 2050 goal of reaching zero environmental impact. So that's definitely something to strive for. Also brands, companies like Nissin, they have their Earth Food Challenge 2030. So they are all carrying that responsibility of caring for our planet, so for people as well as the planet. And another key stakeholder in this whole sustainability picture are retailers as well. And we see this very much happening in European countries, is that retailers have more and more power of which brands actually are placed on the shelves. So they can decide. And retailers, they also have their own sustainability goals. And we see now a shift that they say, well, actually from all of the companies that come to us and say, like, pick our products to put it on the shelves, they can choose and say, like, well, your brand is more sustainable or is caring more for the planet. And therefore it fits more with our sustainability goal. So from all of the stakeholders, consumers, companies, retailers, you also have the government, of course, and other stakeholders in this. But they are all impacting sustainability as a big movement in Asia. So I would definitely say in the coming years we will see an even bigger shift in Asian countries towards being more sustainable or using sustainable ingredients, local sourcing, etc., etc. And again, it's about that storytelling, about building trust with consumers and also saying what you do back for the planet, or having your claims or your labels or your stories. We see that in certification now coming up. Or in Indonesia, there's Danone Aqua collaborating with Alfamart, one of the retailers, to launch this upcycling machine. So consumers also get, again, more educated about recycling plastic. And this one on the right side, Salad Stop, in Singapore, they are the first restaurant chain in Asia to claim carbon labeling on their entire menu. So if you see in their menu, all of the menu items, they say how much carbon or CO2 emission it creates. So you have here, well, this is a salad, so it is quite low in terms of CO2 emissions, but you also have meat dishes, which you see it's really a lot higher in how it will impact the planet. And it's quite interesting to see that now a restaurant chain is adding this to their menu, and indeed, like, it could influence consumers' choice of, buying taking this salad or taking a meat dish just based on carbon labeling. Trend number 6, shifting occasions. So again, because of the pandemic, this is a big trend that has been shaped. So I believe by just looking at this slide over here and this matrix, we can really understand what's going on. So first of all, we have food service versus retail. During the pandemic, there was not really out-of-home food service consumption. Restaurants were closed. We couldn't go out. But still, restaurants, they still want to earn revenue and have a business. So a big movement that we saw is that restaurant chains were launching products for retail or collaborating with other retail brands to launch new innovations in that people could eat at home. Also from the food service side and out of home, we see a lot of innovations, for example, robots. I just saw a robot this morning going around as well. So there's new technologies that make a safer environment for us to go to restaurants and consume there. And from the retail side, there is also the other end, that retail products like Oatly beverages, they are collaborating with restaurants to bring new and innovative, in this case, cakes, this mousse cake, to the market. So again, a lot of brand collaboration. And retail at home, so that's also a big space where we see new things happening. I think we are all, if we look at the statistics, many people started to go online to have their groceries delivered at their house, or you can go on GoFood, or you have all those apps that you can now just order products to your own home. And also offerings like delivery within 5 minutes, etc. And that's something that consumers are getting more used to. And it's quite convenient to be able to just order and get your products at home. So that's definitely a big shift that we are seeing and evolving in the food landscape. So again, those crossing of channels. Here's two exciting examples. On the left side, Kappa Sushi, a restaurant chain, they were renting out their sushi conveyor belts to people so they can dine at home in a restaurant type of style. I think that's, I would love to have that at home, actually. That's quite exciting to have. So that's a great example how those channels indeed are interacting. Also in Japan, you would have, your cafes and izakaya type of bar. Consumers couldn't go to because of the pandemic. And Asahi, they really tapped into this by launching a new type of packaging innovation that if you would open it, the can would also create bubbles and actually would give you that draft beer experience, but then again from your own home. So that's how those channels are interacting and playing together to create also a new and exciting experience that consumers are looking for. Trend number 7, tag to table. Well, a lot happening in technology. We will see that here in THAIFEX as well. Many people, 2 in 3 consumers in Asia, they are also saying, I'm open to consuming foods that have been produced using new food technologies. Also plant-based, there's so much new technologies within that particular space that consumers are getting more familiar with. So they're more open to trying other new technologies. And that can be in any type of range or element in the industry. We would see a lot of movement in personalized nutrition. For example, this brand over here, or this company, Enrich 3D, they develop a 3D printer that prints exactly what you as a consumer need. So you have to fill in a survey and answer a lot of questions, and they calculate what you need. And then they 3D print a dish that you also like, and you will have your full personal experience. Also from the protein side, well, we have microbial-based alternative proteins. I saw here in the innovation area insect protein. ADM is also in air protein, creating protein from air. There's a lot of technology in the protein space. And I think one of the new elements in the industry where we see a lot of movement is in growing ingredients in labs. So I already explained that in the plant-based trend. Number 1 is that in Singapore you can now eat lab-grown chicken in a hawker stall. They now have launched just last week a lab-grown chicken satay. So is that maybe the new thing that will come up? because now we are seeing it also happening in other areas in food and beverages. This one, California Cultured, they are growing cocoa in a lab. I've also seen research being done in gelatin, growing gelatin in labs. Collagen. So maybe in 10, 20 years, we are growing everything in labs. It's definitely something very interesting to watch. Again, talking about protein and about the plastic issue. So it's just many of these trends are interconnected, of course. If we ask consumers, okay, when it comes to packaging, which of the below do you think is most eco-friendly? So first they said, well, biodegradable packaging, followed by compostable, recycled, reusable, bio-based packaging. And of course, yeah, we can ask consumers, but yeah, I'm not sure if they are the experts. But there's definitely a lot of area in which we see innovations in all of these 5. And one of them in recycled packaging is that there was actually a €1 million prize won for a plastic to protein research, awarded to this guy Steve and Ting from the Michigan Technology University. So they are actually able to use and take plastic waste and make it into an inedible biomass and then in an edible protein. I think it sounds really, weird to eat plastic in a way. I don't know if consumers would really like the idea of, is it healthy? Is not dangerous for me? But just to show you how much research and new technologies are coming up that are trying to find ways to save the planet and to, there's more and more people coming into our planet. Population is growing rapidly. How are we going to feed everyone? So it's interesting to see that there are options that we can actually turn plastic into food. Trend number 8, upcycling redefined. Yeah, we will see that here in the show for sure. It's something that is still relatively niche in Asia. It's already a bit more advanced in Europe and North America. But the idea is that we use ingredients or foods that we would normally throw away or that don't fit in the supply chain or, that go to waste and is being used into a new product innovation. So we create value out of waste. 44% of Asians say in their consumer study that a product that contains upcycled ingredients is more appealing to me than other products. It's again also something novel. In Indonesia, you have this brand. It's the first tea made from cascara, from coffee bean waste. So you have, of course, a coffee tree plant and the coffee bean, but there's a really tasty coffee cherry around it, and that's often being thrown away or maybe used for fertilization. But yeah, you can create also new innovations out of that. And this is a tea. I also saw some jellies, jam, and maybe it also has a functional benefit of giving you energy. I don't know the research behind that, but definitely a great example of how something that the production just throws away can be used for something else. And Dole is doing the same. So 80% of Dole is ugly fruit. So it's too ugly to be launched in the supermarkets and to be put on shelves. In Thailand is now recycled to fighting food waste. So they are now turning also banana leaves into packaging. I also saw some innovations from them here again in the innovation area of creating other types of pulps or ice creams in which also these more ugly fruits are being used. So the upcycling revolution really makes a mark in the food and beverage industry. in Asia Pacific, and this statistic is from our new product launch database. So we track new product innovations in more than 90 countries. But for APAC, there's a 48% growth each year of new food and beverage launches that claim that they do something with food waste or with upcycling. So it's definitely upcoming. Also, consumers, if we ask them, if you prefer upcycled ingredients, what actually makes them better? And they say, well, because of their healthiness and nutritiousness. So this product over here, again, is using cascara, the coffee cherry, but also focusing that it enhances health and good blood pressure regulation, soft skin as well. Holistic well-being. And freshness is another key element that consumers are looking for in these products, as well as, again, sustainability. So it's of course it's really sad that a lot of food goes to waste. This brand over here from Japan, Upcycle by Oisix, they are using all kinds of upcycled ingredients. Here, this jam, this spread, it's made from banana peel. So they can actually make from banana peel a really tasty spread. And they have other types of innovations as well, making products from broccoli stems, which is normally being thrown away, but you can just eat it. It's totally fine. Trend number 9, almost at the end. Voice of the consumer. With, of course, social media and consumers have a voice. Also, brands are listening more to consumers. We see this happening a lot in Western markets as well, in which brands are actually launching new flavors that consumers have chosen. I used to work for a chocolate brand, and actually a lot of consumers would, email and say, "Oh, can't you launch a chocolate bar with this flavor or this flavor?" And brands are actually doing that now. So really listening to consumers. Even there's one brand, Milka from the Netherlands, and they say the name of that person that asked for that flavor. So making it more personal. And it also starts, and we see that now as well in coffee houses, that you can let consumers have a choice. So it can be about flavor, but also the sugar level, for example, that you want to have in your beverages. And some more examples that we see in the industry that brands are really listening to consumers. First of all, here from Cadbury, they want to create a new innovation that has more interaction and creates consumer engagement. So this product over here, it's an assorted chocolate box, so it's actually really nice to give to someone. And now by scanning this QR code, you can create your own message to that person, so making it really personal and engaging again with consumers. Also in the middle, Zespri, very well-known Kiwi brand. They've now launched, and they trialed it for a couple of years, is their new red kiwi. And it was also something that consumers were asking for, they were looking for, and especially young consumers. So even fruit brands like Zespri, they are looking for ways, how can we attract all kinds of consumer groups and types? And this last one I find quite interesting is that Nestle in India, they released a campaign to reassure consumers. So there were actually quite a lot of consumers in India that went to Nestle saying you don't have that many healthy options. Maybe consumers want to eat healthier and the products are not there, or they're too fatty or too full of sugar. And this is now happening in other companies as well. I've heard about Unilever, one of the biggest multinationals in our industry, that their stakeholders are actually saying you should do something about your product portfolio. It should be healthier. So brands have to listen, of course, when their stakeholders are saying that, but also consumers have really a bigger voice nowadays. And that will definitely influence the industry big time. The last trend number 10, my food, my brand. Again, very consumer-centric, because every consumer is different. Every consumer has their own lifestyle, their needs, their preferences, can be based on age or where you live or which country you're from. Overall, consumers are looking for brands that fit with them. And it's really going from targeting consumers by adapting to consumption-related preferences to really targeting them by reflecting their beliefs and values. And here in the last slide, this also really comes back. So those beliefs and values, doing something back for other people. So we see growth of new brands saying something related to social issues or supporting farmers. Here we have celebrating International Women's Day. So again, consumers feel more connected to a brand and also feel it really fits with their own values in life. Same as here, there's actually quite some growth of new innovations that donate things. So can be either a tree. I know that there's also a gum that says if you buy a pack of gum, we will donate or plant a tree. Or here, if you buy this product over here in Thailand, you support the GIAC Animal Foundation, or will donate 5 yen per bag to protect the nature. So again, very connected with consumer beliefs and values. So these were the top 10 trends for 2022 in Asia Pacific, and I really hope it was exciting to see what are the trends, and it will definitely also stay in your head, I think, when you go around the show and see all of that reflected in new product innovations. So we have a few minutes left. I don't know if there's any questions.
Is there any question มีคำถามไหมคะโอ้แสดงว่าสปีกเกอร์ของเราเนี่ยอธิบายได้ชัดเจนแล้วก็เคลียร์มาก It means that you speak clearly and very informative, and I have to agree with that because I was watching you from the start until the end.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Kun Irene, can you please stay on stage because we would like to present you with the souvenir on behalf of the organizer. Can I please welcome on stage คุณปนัดสอนสุขันธรัตน์ค่ะ Assistant Project Sales Manager of Cohen Messe on stage ค่ะ Thank you for being our first speaker on the first session of THAIFEX-Anuga Asia 2022 ขอเสียงปรบมือด้วยค่ะสปีกเกอร์ท่านแรกเลยนะคะของงานเราค่ะ Thank you very much and I hope to see you again next year ขอบคุณค่ะ Thank you สำหรับเซสชันนี้ก็ได้หมดเวลาลงแล้วนะคะ So we have come to the end of the first session but stay tuned because we still have 3 more sessions to go especially if you're watching live on Facebook I'll see you in 30 minutes แล้วเดี๋ยวเจอกันค่ะ